All right, so now your next method is factoring trinomials. Okay, trinomial meaning I have three different terms, and then all of these are just an x squared. So it's just like a 1 in the front. Okay, so what you're looking for is factors that will multiply to give you this last number and add to give you this middle number. Okay, so things that multiply to give you 9, okay, are 1 and 9 and 3 and 3. So when thinking about this, which numbers will add to give you 6, you will get 3 and 3. And so those will go into the parentheses and you'll have x plus 3 and x plus 3. Okay. All right, so again here, it's got to multiply to give me a 25, add to give me a negative 10. So things that multiply to give you a 25, you have 1 and 25, you have 5 and 5. Okay, so I want a 10, but I want a negative 10. Okay, so in order to get a negative 10 with both of these, they would both have to be negative. Okay, and so that'll be x minus 5, x minus 5. And then let's take a look at some of these at the bottom here. So let's look at we'll look at this one. So I want something that's going to multiply to give me 3 and add to give me 4. So things that multiply to give me 3, that's just 3 and 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So x plus 3, x plus 1. Okay, just a few more. So multiply, add. So to get 24, I know I can have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Okay, so looking at my list though, I want it to give me an 11. Okay, so that's 8 and 3, but I want it to be a negative 11. So both of these are going to be negative here. So that'll be x minus 3 and x minus 8. Okay, and then this one. So multiply, add. So I have a 16. So 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. Now, because it's a negative 16, one of my numbers has to be negative. Only one. Okay, so I want a positive 6. And with one number being negative, I'm really subtracting, okay? So if I subtract 16 and 1, that's 15. If I subtract 4 and 4, that's 0. The only two I can subtract to get 6 will be 8 and 2, okay? So x and 8, x and 2. But I want this positive 6, okay? So that's going to have to be a positive 8 and a negative 2 because 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay. All right. And so now I'm going to leave some of the rest of these for you to work through. You can cross G out. Okay. And let's look at the other type of trinomial. Okay. All right. So these trinomials are when you have a number in front of the x squared, okay, that cannot be factored out. So remember, you always factor out a GCF if you can do it, okay? So can we divide 6, 11, and 10 all by the same number? Okay, no, we cannot. So what we're going to do is called our bottoms-up method. So you start by multiplying the 6 and the 10, and the whole reason to do that is so that you can get a trinomial like we just factored. So when I multiply that 6 and that 10, I get negative 60. Okay, so all I did was move it. Now this is a 1. I can factor it just like I did on the previous examples. So I'm looking for factors of 60. Okay, I know I have 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and something, 12. There we go. Okay, so you can use your calculator to divide each of these out to get these numbers. All right, now I want to be able to subtract these to get this negative 11. Okay, the only way I'm going to be able to do that is using this 15 and the 4. Okay, and the 15 will have to be negative in order to get a negative 11. So this will give me x plus 4, x minus 15. Okay, now with these problems, because we originally multiplied by the 6, I now have to bring that 6 back into the problem by dividing each of these by 6. So whatever number is here is what I divide by. Okay, so I'm going to simplify these fractions first. So this first one's a little longer than normal. So when I simplify this, that is 2 over 3. Okay, when I simplify 15 and 6, you can divide them both by 3. So 5 over 2. And then before you're done, this is why it's called bottoms up. Anything that's left on bottom, you bring it up in front of this x. So that 3 is going to come up, this 2 is going to come up. Okay, so that first parentheses is going to be 3x plus 2. And then this next one will be 2x minus 5. That is your final answer here. So I know that was a lot of work in one problem. Okay, but that is what you will get. All right, so let's look at one more example. So can we divide 3, 14, and 5 by the same number? Okay, no, we cannot. So I'm going to start by multiplying the 3 times the 5. That'll give me x squared plus 14x minus 15. So now I'm looking for factors of negative 15. So I know I have 1 and 15, 3 and 5. I think that's it, yep. So I need a 14. Well, 3 and 5 is now going to give me 14, okay? So it's got to be 15 and 1. And then we'll figure out our signs. All right, I need a positive 14. Now, one of them has to be negative because that's a negative 15, okay? So this one's going to be negative this time, and this one's positive. Negative 1 plus 15 will be a positive 14, okay? Now, I have to take this 3 that I multiplied and divide it back out, okay? So 1 divided by 3, that cannot be divided, it cannot be simplified, so I bring the 3 up. So it'll become a 3x minus 1. And then 15 divided by 3 is 5. And that's all you can do with that one. So that is your answer for that one.